Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to my Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 review video. Before I go into my review, I'd like you guys to know that I've been a Dragon Ball fan since I was little. It was one of the first animes I was introduced to, and I fell in love with it. So know that I'm going to go into this review with some bias. As another note, I have not played the first Xenoverse game, so I can't make any comparisons to the old one. So now that you know I'm only going to say good things about Xenoverse 2, let's begin. Xenoverse 2 is a simple game with a very simple storyline. Simple can be a good thing, but when it involves Xenoverse's 2 storyline, it's anything but. When I first play a game, it's what I pay attention to the most, as I get used to the game's mechanics and controls. I look at how the main character and allies get introduced, where the setting of the story takes place, and how the problem develops. In Xenoverse 2, you fight the same enemies as those in the show, and essentially go through all the Z sagas again. There's nothing new, nothing exciting, and there are no twists or character developments throughout the game. The only thing I liked was how they used time travel to allow more freedom to change the stories. Time travel is rarely done well in my experience, but Dragon Ball didn't seem to do anything blatantly wrong. This allowed them to incorporate other characters, especially the non-canon ones, into the story at different points in the game, such as Turtles or Lord Slug. However, this still does little to alleviate the problem, that you're still playing through the same old story. The way the story is told is even worse for those who have no familiarity with Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. I think this game is developed for people who love the Dragon Ball series. Because of this, they did very little to develop the characters in the game, because they already exist or the developers or producers expect the players to already know the background and history. This also includes not explaining the importance of events or what is actually supposed to happen during the events that you're trying to fix. All that you'll be left with after finishing the game is what just happened. But do not worry, friends. What makes Xenoverse 2 so enjoyable is not the story, but its gameplay. The battle system is really easy to learn for a casual gamer, and makes this game the perfect casual game. The combos are really easy to learn and use. It's pretty difficult to drop combos no matter what you press, all the basic attacks will connect into each other. It's a game that I can get on just to play, to let loose and relax without having to worry about winning. It's fun playing this game with friends, but I can't say how it is with random people since I avoided that part of the game. I can't say anything concretely for those looking for competition in ranked, but from my experience with what I have played offline, there can definitely be a competitive scene due to min-maxing of stats. In addition, just because the game is easy to pick up does not mean it's easy to master. There are times when I'm playing that I have a feeling I can optimize my combos, use better skills, or that I'm dodging using the wrong timings. But since I didn't want to play this game competitively, I didn't give it much other thought. This brings us to character customization, which has a good amount of options. There are 5 races with 3 of the races having 2 sexes. Each race, and even the sexes, have stat differences, so it gives you more variety when creating unique and interesting characters and builds. The level up system and equipment system is not new to the Dragon Ball RPG games, and is always a nice system to have. Levels make progression much more interesting. Being able to adjust your own stats is always great when growing your character since you can come up with different builds. Clothing is something that I really enjoyed in the game. Clothing allows you to recreate some of your favorite characters from the show or just some Frankenstein mash of characters. I really enjoyed experimenting with a character's outfit and unlocking new clothes to add to my collection. Clothing also adds stats to a character, which is a plus, although they usually balance out by reducing another stat. In addition to clothing, they also have an equip item called a QQ Bang. I really hated QQ Bangs at first because it seemed really complicated, but as I started experimenting, I started to like it more and more. I generally hate RNG systems, but I really like this system since it wasn't purely RNG. It was fun figuring out how to get a QQ Bang to come out how you would want it. If I spend more time on Xenoverse 2, it would definitely be focused on farming clothes and creating QQ Bangs. The aspect I really like about QQ Bangs is that equipping a QQ Bang allows all of your clothes stats to be ignored. This is really great because in the beginning of the game you are limited to what you could wear if you want good stats. QQ Bangs let me dress up my characters the way I like without having to worry about stat penalties. Despite having all these options for custom characters, you can get bored and want to play with something else. Xenoverse 2 allows you to play with a wide variety of characters from Dragon Ball Z, GT, and Super, although you can't do that when you're progressing with the main story. But you can do it with everything else, such as verse matches, parallel quests, and expert missions. As a Dragon Ball fan, I really love Saiyans, so of course I'm going to choose Saiyan as my race. It was really fun being able to turn Super Saiyan during battles and using signature moves from all the characters in the show. It was also fun flying around Kanton City once that got unlocked. There was never a shortage of anything to do. You have different masters who are characters from the show who teach you their signature moves. You can do parallel quests or verse matches with CPUs or with friends. There are currently 100 different parallel quests to complete, and for the most part they follow the same formula, so it can get a bit boring if you're grinding through all of them. But like I stated before, playing with friends made it more fun. Xenoverse 2 has something called Expert Missions, which offers another way to play the game, to keep it more interesting. Expert Missions are a raid-like mission where you have 6 people to fight against a boss, with additional mechanics such as mind controlling your allies or sending them to a different dimension. Bosses also have new skills exclusive to Expert Missions, making them more challenging, allowing for a good change of pace when you don't want to do versus or parallel missions anymore. Even with all these things to do in the game, Bandai Namco does not stop there. Occasionally they'll have special events for limited costumes and TP, which is a type of currency in the game. They have previously done 2 unique Expert Missions and had a World Martial Arts tournament. Unfortunately I missed these events, but I'm sure there will be more events in the future. I am very impressed with the support Bandai Namco is currently giving this game. This isn't something I see a lot of games doing, so good for you, Bandai Namco. The last thing I want to mention is graphics and music in this game. Graphics aren't the best thing you're going to see when it comes to new generation games, but I think it looks good. The style adheres to the Dragon Ball art style used in the manga and the anime, so what more could you ask for? There isn't much to say about the soundtrack. It isn't terrible, but it's not that great. The rock music fits with the dub of Dragon Ball, but everything else was kinda meh. Nothing really stood out or enhanced the scene to be more impactful or emotional. And that covers my experience and everything I wanted to say about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. This is a really fun game to play, and there's never a shortage of things to do in Xenoverse 2. Of course, playing with friends will enhance your experience even more, but playing by yourself can be fun as well. I think this game is a must-get for any Dragon Ball fan that is also an avid gamer. Instead of watching it on TV, you get to experience everything that is Dragon Ball for yourself. Flying around, although very simple, is very satisfying. It's not hard learning the battle system, and as a result, this game is really enjoyable for those who are more casual. Parallel quests and the main story difficulties aren't very hard, and allow the player to take their time when playing through it. Players don't have to be frustrated with being extremely good at the game in order to do well. However, if you're looking for something a bit more challenging, Expert Missions are great and offer something different in terms of gameplay for players to do if they get bored with the normal stuff. So what are you waiting for? Get the game and start playing it. You won't regret it. Thank you guys for watching. If you found this review helpful, be sure to give me a like. If you disagree, feel free to leave a comment and let me know what you think of the game. Be sure to check out my channel for more game reviews or gaming videos in general. Like what you see? Click on that subscribe button to keep up with all the videos. Have a great one, guys.